You want to know which F2P unit is the best one to choose, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down exactly which ones to choose from my list, and like from best to worst. I'm going to be going over these characters. This F2P guide is only for the characters that we get for free, but I want to go into this guide with the mindset of like, this is the only characters that I have and these are the only ones I'm going to use. You could really challenge yourself and really understand the potential of these great characters that we get for free. We're going to learn this together and we're going to try to become really great Wuthering Waves players together. This character needs no introduction. The first character you should be leveling first is the MC Rover. Female or male? Let me know in the comment section below which one you picked. Rover is a fantastic unit. You need to level this unit as soon as you start playing. The reason why is because number one, this will be the first unit that we will have in game. As long as you explore the world and do all you got to do and collect everything, you will be able to get this character at 6 copies, which at the last copy, Rover heals themselves and the team, which is very beneficial, especially for like any end game content or whatever you're going to be doing. It is an extreme benefit to have this unit. Spectral unit, which is also good to have that light element. It's really cool, very beneficial. It's just a great element overall to have, especially at the beginning of the game. This unit will benefit your account a ton, especially with the level 45 weapon box that we get once we reach that level, a 5-star weapon. And that 5-star weapon is crit rate. This is the plan that I'm going to be going for when I'm either on my F2P or my Will account. I will be going for that sword, as Rover is one of the easiest characters to learn the actual gameplay mechanics of the game. Easiest one to parry with. So if you have major skill issue, trust me, you will be able to parry every single attack with Rover, as opposed to other characters that are not as easy because the distance and the timing are different. So Rover is just like a very well balanced unit. And honestly, if you don't level this character first, you're making the biggest mistake starting your account. So definitely consider leveling up Rover. I promise you, you will not regret it. I've already did it twice during CBT 1 and 2. I mained the character twice, and during global I'm already maining it the 3rd time. So definitely do not miss out on Rover. Now, the reason why Yangyang is really high up on this list right now is because Yangyang already gives you so much value and so much benefit from the beginning of the game. You literally just start off playing and you get her for free. Yangyang is probably going to be the most valuable F2P unit right now because she is a crowd control unit with arrow. So she could bring enemies together and her gameplay is extremely flashy and she's just so much fun to use, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And I hate to admit it, I never really used her as much in CBT 1 and 2, but I'm starting to realize the value in her. I will definitely be leveling up this unit, especially on my F2P account. This is gonna be the character that I will be using a lot more because the crowd control, especially during the tower adversity section, is very beneficial. Now, not so much for the bosses, but you could still probably make this unit very strong as a sub-DPS unit because you could just pop her in, use your ult, bring her back out, and then, you know, you start DPSing with your main DPS. Yangyang is just an amazing character. I mean, she's like literally the star of Wuthering Waves, so why wouldn't you want to level her? The drawback that we have is that she's a sword user, so you might have to like use either an energy sword on her or an attack percentage sword if you're gonna main Rover, because Rover's gonna have the crit rate sword. So definitely, you know, decide on who you really want to main as a DPS. I personally am gonna main the Rover, but you could main Yangyang as well and make her a DPS as well. Baizhi is such an amazing unit, dude. She literally can heal the whole team. She could buff the team at a certain point if you get enough copies of her, and she could also buff some Glacio characters on your team as well. So she's just like an overall really great unit. I will say that she is a great healer, fun to play. The only con I have against her is that she sometimes can feel very slow and clunky. Now, if this is not your type of play style, maybe you've already lost your 50-50 and maybe you lost your 50-50 to Verena. Honestly, if this were the case for me, I would probably use Verena instead. I wouldn't invest too much on the support unit. Baizhi and Verena don't need a lot of investment because they're just like support characters. Unless you want to main DPS them, that's totally up to you. I personally wouldn't do that because you're going to use a lot of resources, which could be used on a main DPS. Baizhi is just a little slow with the attack. She can't parry as easily as Verena. If you're going to main DPS Baizhi, like, good luck. I wish you the best of luck. And if you can do it, you have no skill issue at all. The way I'm going to be using Baizhi is by basically using her as a support to just heal my characters as I'm using my main DPS for the main damage on the enemy. That's exactly how I'm going to be using her. She's very easy to build. You just put her on the 5-piece Echo Rejuvenating Glow set. I've tested it on her and it's worked fantastic. So she will be a great support unit and healer. Sanhua, honestly, Glacial Queen, especially for a 4-star character. See, out of all the characters here, Sanhua is my favorite. I hate to say it. I know that she's a little bit low on the list, but she is absolutely my favorite character. When you start understanding how her mechanics work with the charge attack, you have to hold it and wait and all that stuff. It is just such a treat when you figure out how to actually mechanically know how to use her. You're gonna have so much fun using her. She's just great. The crazy thing about Sanhua in general, she feels more like a DPS character, and I was using her a lot more than most of the 5 stars. You could still use her as a sub DPS because she has short cooldowns, especially with her ult and her skill. So it's really easy to switch in and out with her. You know, she could be a support unit for like maybe a main DPS Glacial team, or if you want her just to do some extra damage, you could put her on a mixed team. It doesn't really matter. Overall, there's going to be a unit that I will be investing in as well. Or you could use the energy swords also, or attack percentage also, because her attack stats on her talent are attack percentage. She basically needs a lot of attack percentage to do more damage, and some Glacial as well, but she literally will not disappoint. I'm telling you, she's a great unit. Oh, Yuanwu, I'm gonna tell you right now, lots of pros and lots of cons. The pros right now with him, he is an amazing, very valuable unit because number one, he gives you a lot of defense. He could definitely protect you because he gives you a shield at a certain copy, and also he leaves pillars on the floor that will do some extra electro damage as you switch out to another main DPS. One little quick key note when it comes to Yuanwu that a lot of people don't know about him, he can shred the shields of enemies, especially bosses and stuff. I've tested this countless times, and he can literally destroy any shield. It's insane because he attacks so quickly, which is a very important thing to note, because especially if you're gonna be F2P, this is gonna be the unit that you're gonna be using to drain that shield even faster. I'm telling you right now, guys, I really think Yuanwu is underrated right now. No one really knows how he's actually truly valued at, but I know. I tested him multiple times, and I really see the value in him. He's going to be the shred shielder and the fast puncher. Attacks so quick that he can parry any attack up against bosses, echoes, whatever the case is. If you're just going straight F2P teams, it's a little hard to mix and match and get the most benefit with him. Not that I'm saying that it won't work, but he will be more valuable on a full electro team like Yangyang and Kokoro. Now, I know a lot of you are here for the F2P guide because you don't want to spend money, you want to say F2P. Yuanwu will still be able to do all that shredding, shielding, able to do off-field electro damage with whichever team you decide to go with. Chixia, fusion unit with guns. Maybe some people might get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to give my quick takes on her because I honestly just don't feel like she's going to be very valuable in the game, unfortunately. Even though her design is super cool, even though her gameplay is super cool, I just personally think as a combat game, I just don't see the real value in her. She is a very weird unit to put on a team. And the reason why I say that is because her ultimate is great. She does like this crazy attack, and then her skill does like this rapid firing attack. The pros on that is that she could crit a lot more than most characters because she's attacking the fastest, right? Because all these hits are rapidly going, and you have higher chances of critting because of so many hits are happening at the same time sporadically, right? Now that is awesome, especially if you're fighting a boss, but the only time you can really do that attack is if the boss is like immobilized. Like you've already broken the shield, you switch to Chixia, and then you start doing that attack. And it's the only time you can really do that. It's really, really difficult to do that attack while the boss or the enemy is moving around. It's really awkward to use her on a team. This is just from my experience. I personally would not invest in her until another future character comes out that might like be able to work better with her, because right now I feel like she's not gonna be the most valuable unit in Wuthering Waves. That's just my take because of how I felt and how much I've tested the game and all the hours I put in. To me, I just felt like I wasn't going to use her as much. I saw a lot of people use her, but I really didn't enjoy using her that much. So that's just my take on her. Not to say that she can't be a very strong unit. I'm pretty sure built right and all that, you could probably main DPS her. If you guys had major skill issue, I really hope that this video brought you some type of value, especially from an F2P guide perspective. I'm trying to help out with the skill issues out there on the platform, and I really want to be there for the Wuthering Waves community. So if you really like this video where I'm just like yapping, giving my takes and all that, and giving you guys how my experience and my feeling towards these characters, let me know in the comment section below. I really want to know how you guys feel about that, because this is kind of like the guide stuff that I want to do. I don't want to go too in depth. I don't want to think about meta too much. I just want this to be a fun experience for myself and for you guys watching here. So with that being said, guys, if you made it to the end of this video, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you guys soon.